Dempsey trying to go forward now, but he's taken down by Cube, and it is a team wipe. Na'Vi cut above once more.
Disastrous ending there for Queen Nai. I thought they were going to have it in them to be able to create that same outcome, but on their side. But Navi stayed so focused on the goal at hand there, placing down the sand from Cube, just deflated everything. By that time, Kenji couldn't really do anything about it coming from the.
Unless your Gene, and you're playing defensively, unless your defensive Gene gets magic handed or gets taken down, you're probably going to trade at the very worst. And if you already have the blue star, you have yourself a lead. Kenji pretty big on the buyer in there, right? I think landing that super is huge because it just removes all of that field promotion extra HP and drops everybody very low. But he misses his last one. He doesn't catch all three players, despite how grouped up Na'Vi were. And it meant that Queen Nai went into the fight with a health pool disadvantage against Magic Hand, which they just got thumped by.
One thing you've got to hand, though, to Queen Nai is that they did approach this one differently. They always feel like they are starting to gain a bit of an idea as to how Navi want to play things. But again, it's a little bit too late at this point. They needed to come in a bit more prepared in that respect as well. Now is the time to turn things around. It really is. They do not want to see Navi gain a second set to add to their one that they have already. Otherwise, getting back from that situation, you're going to have to see so much realistically in this next match. This is a bit of a turning point for me. Comp has got to be on point. I didn't mind the comp that they ran previously, but I think Navi have just got so much up their sleeves, bringing in the Colonel Ruffs, but mixing things up at the same time. And I kind of expect they might continue that same idea and drop some of the previous brawlers that they were running, just purely in the event of being unpredictable here.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you have a free round in your back pocket, essentially. A great opportunity to pull out something just kind of wacky and take your opponents by surprise. And that's probably why we're having like a couple moments being taken here. Is Queen Nai probably trying to formulate something? Because, I mean, in a blink of an eye, they could be down 2-0 in a best of 5. These guys were all smiles yesterday. Kenji, Dempsey hamming it up for the cameras, thumbs up, big smiles. Now it is all business. They need to dig themselves out of this hole. And Na'Vi just want to dump more soil on their heads, as well as plenty of supers and magic hands. So looking for this Japanese squad to fire back now. Let's see what they've got. It is a tanky look. It's Poco double tank. Oh, Na'Vi, they don't want to mess with this at all.
No, I was expecting actually this on the side of Navi, so definitely a comp which they know how to retaliate towards, but I do like that Queen Nai is starting to be a bit more daring. But Kenji going in here knows that Jason is a weak target, but look at that. Everyone behind Navi just getting together here. The support coming in. There's the stun. Dempsey, no way! Stuns all three members. I'm surprised he didn't come up with more value, in all honesty, because I thought that was going to be a team wipe in a single super.
Yeah, listen, he probably should have there, but for a couple of things. Last hurrah popped by Jason to keep himself alive, and the magic puffs from Cube kept him standing. You're right, that should have been a team wipe there from Dempsey, but he's going to try it again. Sandbags deployed this time just in time, but look at him back up. Jason's going to be chased into a corner, and Kenji is nice and healthy. Another last hurrah used, and MMA gets a supply drop kill on the B. It's stunning stuff for Queen Nai. They're trying to back away with the lead. Magic hand, Dempsey will not be allowed to escape.
Jason just stuck in the corner there, surviving on. He has got the buff as well, so I want to see definitely a lot of connecting shots from him as they will go a longer way. Kenji is weak, and nice taps from Cube there just to keep him low, but batting stance soon to come back into effect. Maybe he's got that super as well, that's a hand, which obviously if Dempsey chooses to go in, he'll want to be connecting some good heals for Cube. Is looking for the pull, he gets the pull, but the hill comes in, just not quite enough though. MMA should be able to clear up Memi here as well, potentially.
Memi's in trouble big time there. Cube, nice. Magic hand, left blowout. He makes sure he actually gets the heal proc. It requires someone to be in close proximity to Gene now. You can't just pop it for a heal out in the open and they'll chase Kenji down. Na'Vi, this is incredible poise. Look at this finesse that they navigated this matchup with Arc. They have a vastly less durable setup. They don't have nearly as much mobility, but what they do have is their defensive gadgets. They have last hurrah. They have Cube with another magic hand. They have everything they need to make it 2-0. These guys are absolute juggernauts.
Going from that start at the beginning of that match for Queen Nai, if that wasn't enough of a boost to get them back in this game, I don't know what is. Navi utilized so much in that match and came out on top. I like the buzz. I like the Poco. I've got to be honest, BB as well is a great brawler to herd you back into your spawn. I don't know how, if Queen Nai could not do it with that comp there, how they're going to do it under the pressure of a match point situation. Look at that from Dempsey. Absolutely stunning. But even then, with plays like that, Queen Nai are not persevering until the end to get the wins. Navi have not missed a beat. Every single game has gone their way.
Look at that. Jason responds. He knows he's not under threat there. He pops his last hurrah because he knows the knockback component of it is going to make it impossible for Dempsey to take down any of his teammates. This guy is so smart. He knows he doesn't just have to use his gadgets to keep himself alive. He uses it to keep his teammates alive. Incredible player. And I have good news for fans of Navi out there, because the next set, the map type, is their very best.
Oh, my word. I mean, even if it was their very worst, I don't think at this point it's going to be much of a bother to them. The Brawl House getting a little bit quieter. Danny, just get off your Twitter, Danny. We see you. We see you. Power with a nudge.
He's doing his job. He's working.
No, they're not allowed to work today, Uber. They've got to watch the match. That's from me to everyone at Supercell. Take a day off, guys. You've earned it.
All right, well, we, though, definitely have a job to do, and so do Queen Nai. In fact, it's an unenviable task that they must complete here, Ark. They are now going to have to reverse sweep the juggernauts of the EECA region. Navi look imperious. They look indomitable. And Queen Nai have to find a way to undermine that on Heist, which, again, Navi have more than an 80% win rate on. They are 27-6 on this map type in their home region. Queen Nai, I mean, oh man, I don't know how they're feeling about this one here. It's not a particularly great map type for them. You can see Dempsey throwing his head back. They are racking their brains, trying to figure out what it's going to take to get a foothold in this damn series.
Yeah, it feels very much as though they just don't know how to handle Navi, and you know, it's taken them by surprise going in, just maybe a little bit lacking in terms of their preparation. But at the moment, we haven't seen anything really from Navi which worries us at all. They've had all smiles, and their comps have been spot on, just keeping it varied and mixing things up, but also just keeping things just very, very calm and collected until the very end. These are comps as well which they like to run themselves, so they know best how to counter them and how to deal with them. It's honestly at a point for me where I find it very difficult to predict them, whereas at the beginning of this season, I could kind of see some patterns occurring. They've really been working so hard in the background to come into this World Finals as prepared as they are seemingly being. I gotta be honest, Uber, I see this ending in the third and final set.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I don't blame you for sort of feeling that way. It feels like a game type where Navi, get to do all the things that they want to do, which is step up on you and crack your head open with, a BB battle or something similar. They get to play, these buzz looks. They get to play that little bit more aggressive. They can make use of Gene if they want to here. I mean, look, what I loved about seeing that previous set here is that Navi showed us that they can play like, the more safe, slow, control-based style, right? Very different to what we saw from them in the first set, where they just took Frank and just rammed it up the nose of Queen Nai. They can, they can play that sort of more subtle game type that requires them to sort of work down far more durable foes. But now they get to play something completely different. Oh, what is this? Bull, Ebs, and Edgar. Okay, Navi.
I like this comp from Navi. I do like the Edgar for sure going in, but Kenji at the same time doing very much the same. It's a bit of a base race already. Memi going in, getting some good damage. It's pretty neck and neck for the most part, but the open area there on the side of Queen Nai is a bit of a hazardous thing. If Jason can come in now with MMA, that middle area is going to cater so much towards the Nems and the Bull.
No one did anything about Cube there. No one could. All of Queen Nai were overcommitted towards the other side of the map. There could be an opportunity here, though. Dempsey's going to be able to rush his way through, start pressuring the safe down, and Jason needs to control the middle part of the map. He trusts Cube to get rid of Dempsey, but it doesn't work out. Kenji's also going to be there now as well, and Queen Nai get themselves into the lead. Kenji has to be dealt with, and he's allowed to escape. Menmi comes back in now, tries to go for the torpedo throw, but there's no connection. Queen Nai lead by 10%.
Cube realistically has got to get on this save. The defense has got to be strong from Navi. This could be the chance for Queen Nai to get a win here if they're not careful. The save is being rinsed down by Cube. The hits are still going. They've done it. Navi then, oh my goodness me, are on fire, Uber.
They are so much better
It's unreal. That was a very tense situation, right? Both teams are really just trying to dive the enemy safe. Both teams are playing that bull sort of setup there. They just want to drive their way forward. MMA has an awkward situation where he has to keep a buzz and a bull at arm's reach. He has to use a friend zoner there on one occasion and just try and stay alive. He really prioritized his own life while getting damage and waiting for his teammates to respawn. Jason eventually turned up, helped him defend, and that whole time, Cube was banging down Queen Nai's safe on the Edgar to give them that early lead. I mean, it's pretty insane to win a match like this, by the way, where you're just going hell for leather. The Queen Nai now are nothing to lose. This is it. Their final opportunity to make an impact here at the World Finals before they are eliminated.
It's such a difficult one, really, because Queen Nai have just not really shown much. They've shown a bit there, realistically, probably the most, I would say, in pit stop there. The most back and forth, the closest, really, in terms of the scoreline. But that was the match that led NAVI to match point. I mean, you're looking now at the entire reverse sweep to have to happen to keep their dreams alive. I think that Queen Nai have got an enormous challenge on their shoulders, and I don't know whether, looking at how NAVI are playing today, they're able to keep up.
And this is it. This is as tanky as you can possibly get. Menmi gets sent packing there by a bat swing, and Jason and MMA about to party with the safe 2-on-1. Menmi goes in and stuns him. Double stun, pretty big. He actually goes for another jump in, and oh my! He gets a 2v1. He gets out with a kill. That's huge. That could give Queen Nai what they need here, but the respawns come in, and NAVI still have the lead on safe damage.
MMA still there on Menmi. Menmi just about winning that transaction on about 150 HP. Jason has got the roll as well. Cube, though, coming forwards. And I do like the strategy that NAVI are trying to employ here. Just keeping it calm and collected as now MMA coming in, though. But at the same time, gotta say, the way that MMA is rolling in here, I like the look of Dempsey, though, with the stun. Menmi gets a lovely little stun there as Dempsey goes on the aggressive hit. 6% Cube is there. That is surely it. One more swipe. A little tease from Cube. NAVI are going through.
And Ark, they do it in style. It's not particularly close. Maybe you'd be forgiven for thinking that, seeing the way that Heist was played, both teams going for all-ins, base races immediately. There's nothing subtle about it. But NAVI already displayed plenty of subtlety throughout the course of the series. They fantastic job on Bounty there, where they looked a little shaky at times and were still able to triumph. And Queen Nai at the end, like, they go out with a bang. They try to go for this aggressive look, and you can see the look on Menmi's face. He was a stalwart defender of the safe in those last few moments, right? A double stun, able to get a kill in the 1v2, get out alive. It's all ridiculous stuff, but this look here from the Frank tank play straight up the middle, Queen Nai were on the back foot from the get-go.
Yeah, for me, NAVI placed down their insurance policy very, very early on. Queen Nai were kind of always chasing their tails after that, and I did like some of the plays Queen Nai started to show towards the end. Pitstop was incredibly exciting to watch them start to come more out of their shell, but at the end of the day, NAVI had done so much work early on. That confidence that was gained along the way just came full circle, and you just saw how easy it was for them in those final moments in Pitstop. I am very much looking forward to seeing how they continue on today, because they are looking so good.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and I think we have just one of the most exciting semi-final matchups possible, Ark. NAVI versus INTZ. I mean, two regions incredibly far-flung from one another, but they have similarities in terms of this real passion, this fire, this aggressiveness that they like to play with. I think both of them are really innovative, and they're very mechanically skilled. I think that's, I'll be honest with you, one of the perfect matchups we could ask for in the semi-final. We've still got more quarters to play, but I'm already getting excited for that one.
Yeah, I mean, you know, INTZ was so dominant earlier today, but as were NAVI. So honestly, I don't know which way I would call that one. It's going to be so close. But we do, of course, have an MVP to crown, and that is going to be Jason of NAVI. Congrats to him. I mean, he played fantastic.
Yeah, look, incredible stuff. From really this entire team, I thought that, you know, like, Jason is definitely one of the players that gets put in the carry position on this roster from time to time. Look, stunning stuff, especially on Bounty. This team did so well, you know, using Tick's gadget just to force people away, to knock them back, and then to allow their gene to thrive with those magic hands. These guys are just a well-oiled machine right now. They've worked so hard, Ark. They deserve to be here, and you can really now start to see the fruits of that labor you come out. So they're a favorite, I'll be honest with you. Heading through the rest of the tournament, they are absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, I think you put it into perfect words. Absolutely terrifying. Again, many people saying at home that today was going to be taken up a notch. I think it's fair to say that it absolutely has as the teams for the next matchup join the stage. I see you guys. I see what you're doing. You think I can't see what you're doing? Great to see, though, so many of the players in great spirits. And, you know, there's going to be tears. There's going to be sweat. There has to be a winner. There has to be a loser. But everyone, nonetheless, is having a fantastic time here in the Brawl House.
Yeah, I mean, and this next game, and we could start to tease it, right? Reply Totem, one of the hopes of the EMEA region, up against, you know, Stamina Esports, who've now realized that, you know, the top dog in their region has been knocked out. They have a chance to actually maybe steal the crown for themselves and do what they couldn't do throughout the regular season. The storylines, they write themselves for this point arc. We've got just insane matches coming up later.
Speaking of Reply Totem, though, let's check out more from them.
Hey everyone, I'm here with Reply Totem after their victory over TIG. I've got Coach Inso to my right. I've got Soy, I've got Mori and Maru with me. Guys, congratulations on the win. Soy, I'm going to come to you right now. What were your thoughts and feelings going into that game against TIG?
I was nervous because I haven't faced this team before, and we haven't any data about them, so it was like a new things, and it was great.
Mauri, what about for you? Any nerves going into the game?
Yes, a little bit, yes, but after the first win, I was more chill, so I played so good in my opinion, and all good. GG's.
Now, Inso, you know, you have to lead the players, right? So if they have a little bit of nerves going in, but yet they pulled out the 3-0 win, what was it like for you watching them behind the scenes?
I mean, it was hard for me because, of course, I prepared them, but it's a new experience for everybody. So I'm happy they played well, and we're happy for the win.
Yeah, you guys pulled out the win. You're going to the quarterfinals, but I just want to take a second to look around us because right now we are in the lounge of the Brawl House. We've got a bathroom over there if you guys need the potty break. We got a bed if anyone wants to take a nap, and of course a kitchen in case anyone's feeling a little hungry. So Maru, for you, what's your favorite part about this event?
Probably the kitchen. Yeah, probably the kitchen. Or maybe the bathroom. I don't know.
Have you used either?
Yeah, both of them.
Tell me, Maru, I'm going to ask you again. What's it like meeting all of the other brawlers from across the world? Because right now, everyone is here, all the best of the best.
Yeah, staying all together is like crazy. Is feelings that you can't have while you're at home, and yeah, a cool experience.
Very cool experience. So we're going to do a little bit of movie magic right now, because right now we're seeing STMN take on Flash, and you guys play one of them tomorrow. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to say, okay, you're playing Flash tomorrow just in case they win, and then I'm going to ask you again, you're playing STMN tomorrow just in case they win too. Yeah? So Soy, I'll come to you. All right. You guys are playing STMN Esports in the quarterfinals tomorrow. What do you think of that matchup?
It will be hard because their players have a lot of experience, and
What would the strategy be going up against them? Anything to focus on?
I don't know, maybe I can surprise them with some new bands, and hopefully we will surprise them and play well and win the game.
Yeah, sounds like a solid plan. All right, now we're going to do this. All right, so you guys are playing against Team Flash tomorrow in the quarterfinals. Going to be a pretty interesting matchup going against some of the former world champs. So what do you think about that matchup, Soy?
it will be harder too.
What'll make that matchup hard? Mori, I'll ask you.
From between Flash and they are so good players, so if we face them, will be a really hard match because they are so good, but I think we can win them.
Awesome. Well, best of luck to the entire team in the quarterfinals. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk to me, and that's it for us here.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you, obviously, to Avali and Reply Totem for giving us the information. And now it's time for the action. F. joined here by Tenny. You ready?
Absolutely, man. So pumped at some insane quarterfinals already. Absolutely insane. and I think the two next ones to come up are going to be just as good, if not better.
Upset after upset. We'll see if this is the direction for us as well. Reply Totem and STMN on the top side, and that's what we're going to be getting into. AC Milan Clash and Zeta Division will be following up after that. INTZ and NAVI moved on already. And so we're eager to see who winds up on this lower side of the bracket. And like I said, I mean, we've already seen some exciting upsets so far. Looking at Reply Totem and STMN should be a lot of fun. Let's set the table. Boom goes the dynamite. Reply Totem. Bang, bang.
I'm very confident about the whole tournament because we're a very aggressive team, and hopefully that's going to catch some other opponents off guard.
He could make it happen here. Maro pushing forward. That's going to be the goal.
That's it. Oh my word, the Wipers and STMN have done it.
I feel pretty confident about everything because I think North America is a really good region. I think we get good practice against a lot of other teams, and with us doing so well as of late, I think that's going to transition over to Worlds very nicely. For the rest of the world, be ready because we're here to take the throne.
Well, Stamina coming through. Sounds like they are the ones that are very, very confident here. But, you know, Bobby brings up a big point where they have been very successful recently, even in this tournament. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I think both teams have a huge story behind them. You know, for STMN, you have the fact that they've been struggling to make it to Worlds for 3 years. They're finally here, especially Bobby and OG. Those guys are absolute grinders. So much history between them and behind that duo. On the other hand, you have Totem that has been grinding this year like no one else. They have been the underdogs coming in early on in the monthly finals all the way until today. And so far, their story has been just as successful.
Let's take a look at the bans here. We see no buzz allowed, and that is what I expected. STMN did a fantastic job in the earlier rounds, but a lot of their success leaned on that aggressive play, the ability for Buzz to just get in there, tackle folks, and take it down. And the Meg ban as well, sure. But the Buzz ban is where my brain is at. Starting off Factory Rush Siege. Let's jump into it here. And right away, we see standard comps, Maori on the Lola. Love to see what's going on there. But I'm looking at Czar here as Bobby finds the first kill of the match. Maori goes down. And an answer back. So it's a tie for the Siege. Tie for the Siege.
And we all know those ties make things even more volatile. And things can get pretty crazy from here. Both leads slightly in favor of Totem so far. A little bit more control as well. But that super from Bobby as Yuji picks up the kill on Soy de Breza as well. Will create a lot of space for STMN to work with. And now they have control of every single lane. And the bolts are going to be pouring in.
Big plays here for the mid lane lockdown. And the first one was a tie, remember. And so with Maori getting a kill here, though, this is going to shorten up the distance between our two squads. 4 bolts, make that 3, separate them. But STMN pushed out, but not completely relegated outside of the mid. Plus, you got to look at those traps in the mid lane. Great placement from STMN, and that gives them a level 9 siege bot. Let's watch the push.
Yeah, what can be a little bit worrying for STMN is if they can't find enough damage off this one. There's 10 bolts in the bank for Reply Totem. So they are preparing for a huge bot, and look at that, it's getting melted down, barely any damage coming through. And now Totem, all they need to do is get more and more bolts, and they'll have a massive siege bot.
Really nice placement there coming out from Reply Totem to do what they could, but still a ton of damage onto the Ike there from STMN. Can they defend? Because that's the question. There's no way STMN are going to get 12 bolts here. So there's going to be a big bot for Reply Totem. And I mean, straight up, I'll ask you the question, Teddy. Can STMN stop the blue team siege?
It's possible for sure, but it is going to be super hard because the bot of this level is going to be fast, it's going to be tanky, and it's going to deal a ton of damage on that Ike. And it's pushing for, look at that speed. They are trying to push behind it. Look at it on the left-hand side. They're sneaking around there. They want to get as much burst damage as they can from the flank side. It's not enough just yet, but it's coming through, and that's going to be game 1 going to the Italians.
There was a moment there that I thought the NA squad might have been able to grab it. Reply Totem take game 1. calm. Wiping the hands. Let's do it again. I think that this was a fun one. Sure, there was a tie in the first siege, but Reply Totem didn't completely step on the green and yellow. This was a game where I think it was a little bit of back and forth, a lot of maybe, a lot of coulda, maybe a lot of shoulda, but ultimately Reply Totem win this one. I'm not convinced they'll 2-0.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I mean, it was a game that could absolutely have gone either way, but the Bolt economy was just managed much better by Reply Totem. Much more comfortable around it all around. And what I think is very interesting about this matchup is the experience is going to be supporting STMN, right? They've been here since pretty much forever.
The jump.
Exactly, and for Reply Totem, they're a lot fresher to the scene, especially for Tier 1 competitive. And gaining some confidence early on with games like this is super, super important.
That's true. That's true. And you know, looking at how these guys are going to react and change, we already saw a little bit of conversation coming out from OG about standing and doing this sort of stuff. I haven't heard anything from Reply Totem. Maybe they're a little bit more acclimated to the stage setting and what's going on here. You know, that absolutely is a thing that you have to take into account because the variables aren't all in the game like we are right now. Reply Totem on a set point rather, with one in the pocket. And so STMN, Bobby's pick, 2 games in a row. You like it?
I like it for sure. I mean, they did some good work in the previous game. Unfortunately, not quite enough as a team, I think, in the previous one. Look at that. The snipe from Mari takes down Czar, and that's a huge, huge start from Reply Totem. Getting that first bot, and most importantly, not giving away too many bolts for STMN to build up their economy. And with a level 2 bot, you don't really plan on getting too much damage, but you want to find value elsewhere in keeping control, in just getting some chip damage here and there. And in the end, they're going to get almost 50% damage, more than 50% damage. And that's a lot of value and just a bit of a poor defense from STMN.
This is where the Barley needs to step up. I need to see more aggressive plays out of Bobby on the Barley here. You saw as soon as he realized how much damage was dealt, he needed to walk forward and take a more aggressive approach here. Right now, 3-2 with 5 seconds left. That right side is going to go to Maru as well. Or will it? A good placement by Bobby, and it is Reply Totem again. I mean, they got over halfway done with the first push. Mathematics tell me this could be it.
This could absolutely be it. Now there is no wall in the middle anymore, so the bot can just push forward. It is going to get slowed down quite a bit by the bell traps, and that should be a pretty clean defense. But they have to take back control. They have a 2-volt lead on the side of STMN. They can definitely get this bot, but they need to win at least one lane. They need to find a way to enter back to the center area, but OG goes down, and that's a disaster here for STMN. Reply Totem still full-on center control, 6 volts in the bank, and surely should be getting this final bot.
6 seconds left, way too much of a distance there. STMN are not going to get the chance. And Reply Totem look real smart here. You know, I want to say, Soy de Breza. Maori is the one who everybody's going to notice here. The long-range shots out of the Lola, big damage coming out from that player for sure. But Soy on the stew was a big deal for me. Securing those last-second bolts inside and outside. Unsung hero. So, you know what? I'm singing the praises of Soy de Breza.
Man, I think there were so many interesting dynamics in this first set. I think that Totem came in super confident. They were just pushing for the bolts very early on, trying to contest that first bot as soon as they can. And on the other hand, I feel like STMN was a bit too respectful. They were playing a little bit scared, giving too much respect to their opponents, giving them some space. And when your opponents are going to be this confident like Totem are, they're going to punish you for that. And they certainly did in this first siege set.
Absolutely. All I can say here, the only thing I can say with confidence is that something needs to change for the North Americans here. Can't tell you what, can't tell you how. As we go into Bounty, Bounty is actually something that STMN do pretty well in just anecdotally. At the end of the day, Bounty is 55% win rate for them. So maybe the stats don't agree with me, but when I see STMN, I think of the Pipers, I think of the Bells, I think of the long-range sharpshooters, and that for a long time has been the go-to options. This weekend, we've seen a little bit more of the ticks and such, and so that might change a little bit here, but If I'm rooting for Stamina, I'm rooting for them to turn things around, just completely change. Because game 1, game 2, not a good look.
Yeah, I honestly could not agree more. You know, I think ban-wise, what is really interesting here as well is that Stamina, they want to remove the Max and the Mortis, and those are kind of like, you know, X-Factor brawlers,
Yes.
right? They come in and they can 1v3. It's kind of insane how strong they can be for their team individually, also provide a lot of team value with Max. So just trying to nerf those individuals. But so far, it's not been working in their favor too much. I think Stu fits a very similar role, and we've seen Soderbrezza not shy to show off his mechanics on that brawler. We're ready to go. Very traditional comp, as I really like to see her. Thrower on both sides. It's a tick, it's a sprout. But we have the Piper mirror matchup mid, and on the left side it's a Bell versus a Jean matchup. Fairly even matchup all around, but Soderbrezza overextends, and that is going to give the 1-star lead to Stamina.
A big fan of this Stamina composition. It's pretty much what I was talking about, the amalgamation of the old school sharpshooter comp and then the tick that we've seen a lot in recent memory here for Stamina. I think I like it better than the Jean. I'll have to approach that later on after the game. But at the moment, I think I like it better than the Jean. Although on layer cake, that's why I'm waiting, because the Jean can be real nice with these blocks and bridges.
Yeah, Jean is not going to feel super strong until he has his super. But look at that, Bobby, with some sweet snipes, homemade recipe to assist him for that second tap. And
Nice
Murray tried to match it, but the super was available. Bobby flies out of the way. Czar, very low HP, will survive. And that means that Stamina keep that 2-star lead. Reply Totem on the hunt are able to close down the gap a little bit space-wise. They're pushing forward. OG is very low HP, but he's starting to heal up, starting to defuse the situation. Problem is control-wise. Reply Totem, they're all the way up in their spawn.
Yeah, big part of this was that escape from Bobby earlier on. Now, lead change. Soy and Maori combine, counting down from 16. And Stamina trail by 2. Bobby and Czar left-hand side, hunting down Maru, but they've got to watch out for Maori. Excellent wall placement by Soy to deny that mid-lane shift. OG from the right side. Maori is successful again! The countdown is over, and a baker's dozen for the blue team. That'll do it. Reply Totem again find the win.
Unbelievable performance so far from Reply Totem. What on earth is that performance from them? Man, I'm so impressed so far. I mean, we all had doubts on how they would perform in a LAN setting, but so far the energy is there, and they're able to absolutely translate that in game.
I mean, listen, I am not going to overall focus on this, but it's something that I think has to be brought up. Reply Totem is great. They're doing well. But I'm more noticing a lack of acumen from Stamina. That's the story for me right now. Listen, I'm not going to be, you know, Mr. Negative Nancy the whole time. We will shout out the guys that are doing great. You know, go Italy right now. But that is the story for me. STMN yesterday were a different squad that I'm seeing here, and I just don't know what's up, Teddy.
Yeah, I think the pressure is what's up, right? There's so much on the line. They are the final North American team still competing, the last representatives of their region. Everything is on their shoulders, and so far it seems like it's a bit too heavy, but you never know. We've seen them play great under pressure before. They just gotta, you know, find some more composure, calm down, and come back stronger. And this is going to be their chance to do so. Similar comps all around. We do have the Rico coming in for Stamina and the Leon on the side of Reply Totem. Some very interesting changes and fairly balanced comp once more on both sides.
I like the Rico here for STMN. I think one of Stamina's problems last game was the inability to actually just get there, and Rico can extend his range a little bit, so I'm on board. I understand the thought process here from the green and yellow for sure. Reply Totem on the other side, the Leon, that's a confidence pick, and you should be feeling confident, so I'm here all the way for both changes to the comps. but this is a problem. This was a big deal for STMN last game. They were forced into the Piper Super and blew up the middle, and that pushed them into the corner and ultimately led to their demise. What do we see again? No bushes in the middle, stamina on a back foot.
Man, I just want to insist on how much Maori has been tapping so far on the Piper. Not a single kill still in this game, but he's been doing damage, and every time someone gets tapped by the Piper, they have to fall back. A great kill there from STMN that is going to give them some space. And finally, the lead here in Bounty, 30 seconds left, and it's going to be Reply Totem to go on there. And Bobby follows up with yet another kill, and look at that, Maru falls next, STMN. Finally something going their way.
Now that's the way the comp was supposed to be played. 5 stars separate, and with 15 left, there is enough time to jump in. Czar's under duress. 4 stars for him alone, but Maori takes him down. Answer by Czar, 8-4. And I think that's gonna be it. We're going to a game 3, and I hear the Stamina Boys for the first time today. That's what they needed.
It took some time for STMN to wake up, but I can tell you they are wide awake right now. What a game from them, and what a way to start regaining some momentum, some confidence, and coming into this third game of Bounty strong.
When I see STMN play well, what I see them do is the target acquisition and the combination of their shots. When I see Rico and Bell able to snap two, snap two, snap two, and take down those players like we saw right here, this kill on the Maori. It's Czar and Bobby. When I see them doing that, and then here, left side, Maru, it's Czar and Bobby. When I see them do that style of play, that's when they're working on all cylinders, and that's when they are successful. I didn't see that in game 1, game 2, or game 3, game 1 of set 2. I saw that here. And so that's what you're looking for. If you're rooting for this team, you got to see that teamwork here to look for the North American win.
Yeah, what a way to come back here for STMN. Now, they need more than just a game. They need this to be a set. Yes. Otherwise, we're looking at a 2-0. Moving on to Backyard Bowl next. That is Reply Totem's best mode and one of their best maps as well.
Even if it wasn't, I think the 2-0 would be enough to take down STMN.
Yeah, certainly. So, I mean, it just even extra to that, right? It's a scary prospect for sure. And STMN, they need to do everything in their power to defuse that situation. Moving on here to game 3 for Bounty. And we see a pretty interesting comp from STMN. Triple tank coming in. It can work well, especially against something like a Sprout that just doesn't have any DPS. And will be falling down. Bobby is low HP though. Maori goes for the kill, is able to get it as well. And so far, Czar is going to be punishing them.
Oh, and he gets out? That's a big deal. OG on the Frank. This is probably the wildest comp that we've seen, perhaps all weekend. At least with respect to how different it is from what we've seen in the set so far.
Yeah, it certainly is. It certainly is. And I think for Reply Totem right now, they need to bet everything on Maru, on that Rico. He has the highest DPS, Shane can, you know, pierce through opponents with his super. He needs to find the values. Are his low HP, picks up the kill anyways. Bobby is going to be absolutely destroying them in spawn. The bubble back and forth, and once more.